for making the time to do this. We just wanted to talk to you about kind of what you're seeing in business kind of as you've come through this, and kind of what I'm interested in talking to you about today is how you see things moving forward as we move into heating season. I know you've kept busy because I've seen your sales, which we appreciate. Thank you for that. And I know you've been doing a ton of Mitsubishi and been really busy. How do you see it kind of playing out as we move into like the colder weather in the heating season? What's your take on how this will play out for the next few months?
Sure. So I think for us, what we're seeing, again, we're not a huge service industry company, but we're already starting to see the turnaround with people wanting to upgrade equipment right away. Like they want it done now. And what we're starting to see, not necessarily with Granite Group in particular, but with overall product lines, that they're becoming somewhat unavailable. And to a point that, we're being told, yeah, no problem from the manufacturer. And then 3 weeks later, it's, oh, well, it's just going to be another few weeks. So we're starting to see that. It seems like people are being somewhat understanding with it. I feel like it's kind of hit home where they can't buy a kitchen stove. They can't buy a refrigerator. They can't buy anything. So I think they're starting to understand. I don't know how that plays out or how well that plays out as we start to move forward into a colder month or months. When you need something immediately, or else you run the risk of destroying someone's home or business.
Yeah, you bring up, so that the way I've kind of looked at it, it's like the three things happened all at once. They pulled back when things looked really bleak, and then demand shot up, and now they're trying to catch up in socially distant factories. It's like they just can't. And you bring up a really interesting point through. I always said this, I have little kids. So like it took me 3 months to get them a trampoline. Like, well, that's okay. They'll be just fine. But your point about like, what happens if pipes freeze? What happens if people don't have heat? Like as it gets to colder months, the patience could wane when it gets to be really serious.
Right. Yeah. I think we're seeing a little bit. And again, so far up to this point, it seemed like it was fine. Everything was good. And now all of a sudden the brakes have kind of been put on, and that's what we're starting to see, that demand is still there. People are, they're looking to upgrade, and it used to be, I want high efficiency, or I want this, or I want that. And it's now, well, whatever you can give me. Yeah. Whatever I can get in, which isn't great for the consumer. They're being forced into decisions that may not be the best alternative for their situation.
Right. And as far as the demand, though, Alan, you see no slowdown coming. You see it still kind of full pipeline.
Yeah. So right now, again, we've been extremely fortunate. The contracts that we have, they extend through next year. Technically, probably push until mid at least of next year. And because of the huge demand in the past few months, we were actually forced to go out and subcontract and work deals with other plumbing contractors and bring them in, which isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. We're all working together, which is great. But as that starts to shift now, we kind of see what's going on. We'll be able to kind of bring our crews back together and finish those jobs off rather than have to sub them out. But we've got quite a few projects that have been bid. They're in that kind of design phase. We don't know that we have them. But if they go down, it's another 2 years worth of work.
Wow. So all based in Rhode Island, or are you going around?
All Rhode Island. No, we won't go anywhere. It's too complicated licensing wise to try to start crossing state lines. And the guys have a good grasp of what's going on here. So at this point, we haven't had to go that route yet. And I'm really trying not to, if we can help it.
Yeah, if you don't need to, why would you, right?
Right.
So, Alan, shifting gears a little bit. So, talk to me a little bit about your people. You and I are both third generation in these businesses. So, yep. I'm interested to see how you're kind of dealing with your people through this time and kind of moving forward. It's all unique, and we want to make sure we're treating our people as, understandingly as they can. And it's gotten now, kids are back to school and people are juggling all that. So talk to me a little bit about, you've built upon what your father's done and built a really great company with a great reputation with great people. So talk to me a little bit about how you've kind of worked with your team.
Sure. So, obviously when this first started, I think it kind of took everybody obviously, like you guys, everybody kind of jumped through hoops to figure out what was going on. The reality was, when it first started, we had about 17 active plumbing installers. So we started to shift guys directly to job sites, bring them into the shop at different periods of time, 20-minute intervals to kind of get them in and out, provided them with whatever basically they wanted. If they wanted hand sanitizer, mask, whatever they wanted. I think fortunately for us, it really, we had very limited contact with the virus type of thing. We're in a lot of new construction, so kind of really didn't affect us as much. New construction sites are very easy to manipulate. But that being said, there's been a few instances where someone might have the common cold. Happened about 3 weeks ago. Kid had bronchitis. Contract on the job, sent him off the job, told him he can't come back until he got tested. Fortunately, he tested negative, and the doctor looked right at him and said, "You have bronchitis," but they wouldn't let him back to work. So that cost him a week out of work. So that's where I see that, some of the guys that are here, the younger guys specifically, younger to the trade, they may not be financially secure. So, trying to work with them and kind of make sure that they're okay when they're being forced to miss time has been kind of the ultimate challenge. Whether it be offering more money or, taking and paying them for the time off, even though technically I don't really have to, but you're kind of forced to do it because you don't want the guys to leave. They're good employees. So I think that's been kind of the juggling act. Going into the school year, I don't know what we're going to do. I've got multiple guys with 3 and 4 and 5 kids, and they're all like, yeah, so my wife can work from home now, but what if she can't?
Yeah.
Oh, and again, in today's society, husbands and wives or partners, whatever they are making almost the same dollar amount. So there's really it's not like it was 30 years ago where, ugh, look at me, I'm the breadwinner, and that doesn't work anymore. Most households rely on that double income. So, we've had the conversations. I pretty much told the guys, like, do what you can. I don't know what to tell you, and we'll have to get through it. And so contractors are going to have to understand, homeowners are going to have to understand that this is what it is, and this is where we're at. And unfortunately, schedule is going to have to be flexible, which, again, for new construction is extremely difficult.
Yeah. We've seen all that, and it's a lot to juggle. And I guess the thing we just keep coming back to is, thank God. I say to our people all the time, like, thank God we're in this business. If we were in the restaurant supply business, like, yes. Those poor people. And it's not, they didn't work any harder or less harder than we do. We just happen to be in a fortunate spot. So juggling, it's a lot, but thank God there's still that demand that you talked about earlier. Yep. This was really great. I have the last thing I have for you, sure. And then I'll let you go. Thanks for making the time to do this. Tell me about your Heat for Heroes, what you did for Heat for Heroes. I think it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we started that a couple of years back. We didn't do it last year. We started out, the intention was, I've always had a soft spot for the military. My father is ex-Special Forces. It just was one of those things that, looking back, I wanted to do it. I should have just done it. And my dad actually talked me out of it. But that being said, I just thought there was a need. We saw some people that, they're struggling as they get a little bit older, maybe. The younger guys with the PTSD, or the younger ladies for that matter. I mean, it's both. So it was just something we wanted to try. So we did it once. It was a good program. It was pretty cool. We ended up changing out, gave the people a brand new water heater, a brand new indirect water heater, brand new boiler system.
Oh, that's cool.
9 yards. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And we did it again the following year. It was actually a friend of mine that we did it for. He had served, came back, had a brain tumor. They found out while his wife basically was in the hospital delivering a child. So we were building their house at the time, and it was one of those things that we, at the end, kind of donated 3/4 of the job, plumbing and mechanical, to them to kind of make sure that they could, move forward and do well with it. So I'm probably going to try to do it again this year. If I can kind of finagle the time is
Sure.
always the problem. But I think, we're going to probably put it out there. It's been a pretty enlightening type of thing and a pretty cool thing to do.
That's pretty awesome. That's really awesome. Good for you. Good for you. And
Thank
people
you.
see that and appreciate that. I'll leave you with this. I mean, I thought my dad was scary enough, but a father is special forces. I mean, Jesus, you don't want to get out of line with that. My God.
Yeah, no, he's very chill with it, but it's still one of those things that, it's still in him.
I get it. This was great. Alan, thanks for making the time. Thanks for doing all you do. Thanks for the business. We appreciate it. But more than anything, just thanks for making the time and sharing your thoughts with us.
No, appreciate it, Bill. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk soon. Take it easy.
Have a great one. See you guys. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.